Hey there everyone, Lord Frigid here with another fully commentated episode of Aether Raid's Battle Dump. Before we begin, I did want to say thank you for your responses on the last video on whether you preferred a fully commentated Battle Dump or a not commentated Battle Dump plus Aether Raid's offense video. I am very strongly considering, based on those responses and my own personal preferences, on just replacing Aether Raid's offense with fully commentated battle dumps. I do like this better. I can prepare for it in advance, whereas with Aether Raid's offense, I had to wait till the last match of the season was over before I even decided what matches to include, what was worth showcasing. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. As a result, I am now going to include the enemy skills and stats on the right side of the in-battle overlay. So you can look at the skills and possibly wonder what the heck the defense map creators were thinking when they decided on them. Yeah, that's really it. So again, thank you for your feedback, and with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the past Astra Seasons matches. The first match is against this kind of funky save setup with all, or mostly, armors. Hector has far save, Gustav has near save, and then the Duma has armor march for some reason. Not really sure why. And it makes it really easy to just set up on the left-hand side. Idun is going to draw attacks from everybody not named Lucina and Hector, and after that it's just cleanup. Of course, Sothis is a perfect cleanup unit for those two, and it makes it even easier that the Duma kept his default upheaval, because now Maltet is not going to be able to inhibit Sothis' follow-up attack and inflict stat penalties if Hector initiates combat, which of course is very easy to ensure. I did want to try and destroy the Bright Shrine before having Sothis deal with them. Eventually I decided it was going to take too long and I just gave up on it. And it turns out she didn't even need it anyway. I think this upcoming enemy phase, she was able to dispatch both of them. So yeah, I'll let that one play out and see you in match number 2.
Close your eyes. Why not?
The second map kind of looks like it could be a 7th slot trap, but there's no rally, so I'm not really certain what's going on there. Camilla has Restore, so it could be a Restore trap, and I actually ended up abusing that, using Plumeria to refresh Altina, applying penalties to the Mirabilis, forcing Camilla to restore her and then get the refresh from Mirabilis, and then using Altina to bait out Sigurd, forcing him to not refresh Saros. So the enemy has to advance without refresh power, and Saros is just kind of stuck up there at the top of the map. In terms of planning for the future, I knew that I wanted to have Regan take out Camilla, who is going to advance straight here. But what I didn't take into account was the Duma's Smite. So the Duma does have Smite, and after Claude moved, he actually bumped Claude way over to the left in the corner. And that's actually, I had to take some thinking time for that, because what I saw the opportunity for there was to possibly create a trap situation. And after a bit of thinking time, that's what I decided to go for. So as you can see, Regan took on the Camilla exactly as I had planned from the turn before. And then I actually was initially thinking about having Idun perform the trap on the Claude, but it didn't really pan out as I was running the matchups. The Saros matchup in particular looked kind of, it wasn't pleasant looking. She didn't lose, but she also didn't win, and I just didn't want to deal with that. But of course, Sothis has Dragon Effectiveness here from Naga, and she also has color advantage, so she was able to handle both the Duma and the Saros. And then after that, it was just cleanup and finishing off the Claude afterwards. So that was a pretty interesting mid-map adjustment I got to make there. I didn't even think about the Smite on Duma, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm just going to go ahead and let the rest of this play out, and I will see you in match number 3.
Under the ethereal moon. Yeah. Yeah. Ta. Huh. I won't lose.
You have my trust.
Why not?
With utter certainty.
What is your desire?
Over here?
Consider it done.
A time to celebrate. Shia! Consider this a gift.
This third match is against a box-style setup. Of course, there's a huge weakness on the right-hand side. If you have a flying 2-range attacker, they can just go up and hit the Ophelia for free. In my case, Micaiah also functions as a 2-range, or as a mage tank, rather. So she was able to take out the Mirabilis as well, and only needs to fight the Nino on the enemy phase, who she absolutely obliterates with a Glimmer on the counterattack. So, yeah, not a whole lot to talk about beyond that. So I'm just going to let this one play out, and I will see you in the 4th match.
Close your eyes.
Let's go together. By your will. You have my trust.
I won't lose. Why not?
Certainly.
Yes?
Yeah.
As you say. Consider it done.
Little nervous here.
Close your eyes.
Let's go together.
Yes.
Little nervous here.
What is your desire?
I'll do it.
Certainly.
The 4th match is against a Restore trap setup. Could have been a 7-slot trap setup, but fortunately it wasn't. I actually wasn't paying attention to where the 7-slot unit icon was. It was on Celica, so she can receive a refresh from the peony. Fortunately, there's no rally, but if there had been, then I would have been in some pretty serious trouble because I just stuck my units real close on the left-hand side. This has happened once before, where I tunnel visioned on what I wanted to do and didn't realize that there is that 7-slot refresh factor there. So hopefully I can get better at recognizing that in the future. I thought my plan might have been in jeopardy because what I wanted to do was trap the Levitain. But it turns out that after a bit of thinking time, it was basically the same strategy, except I fought Peony first instead of second. And I didn't need to have Regan smite Lyn in to get access to the enemies.
Understood.
So I believe my order here was take out Celica, duo skill, take out Mirabilis, or was it Saros? It was one of the two, and then Tiki takes out the other one. And then a refresh from Peony to KO the Bernadetta, and then the harmonized skill from Tiki to take out the Veronica, trapping the Levitain because Lyn attacks from the space to Levitain's right. If you didn't follow all of that, I do apologize. but you'll see it play out literally within the next half minute, so I'm not really all that sorry. After that is just cleanup, so as usual, I will let this go and see you in match number 5.
Boo. A new dawn. Shh, not so loud. Lynn, you're a wonder. You're finished. Where's Spooky? Ooh. This way? Go for it! Sit.
At your command.
Where to? I'll keep you safe.
For this 5th match, I definitely could have deployed one of my higher scoring teams. The Lin team is actually my lowest scoring Astra Season rating party. But I decided I didn't want to think about it, so I just threw together a quick Lin clear and rolled with that. For those who don't know, I believe I've said this a few times before, but in case, I don't know, maybe people are newer to the channel, I do try to plan all the way through the first enemy phase of AI aggression before I even set foot in the map, and that's why the execution, what you see on the videos, is relatively short. It's because I try and front load all of that thought process into the pre-battle planning phase. Works for me. Sometimes I'll miss something, and then one of my units just dies a horrible, painful death. But for the most part, it's working well. As far as this battle specifically, I believe what I ended up doing was refreshing with Peony, KOing Mirabilis, and then activating Peony's duo skill. And then after that, I would have KO'd Yago. Would have had to been Yago, if I want to. Yeah, because I definitely left the Saros alone. She doesn't have Odd Tempest, so that was safe. I went after Yago first because after... If I went for Plumeria first, I guess I could have trapped Yago by having Tiki go up next to the Aether fountain, using duo skill, and then placing Lin right in his face. But it was just cleaner to attack Yago first, and now everybody's still out of Saros' range, and I'm able to take out the Plumeria with Lin. And now this is just cleanup, grabbing the Aether structures, finishing off the Saros. So I'll let that play out.
Shh, not so loud. Why not? Yummy.
At your command. On the right foot.
Shh, not so loud. Go for it.
Accept your punishment.
The 6th match is an actual 7-slot trap, in contrast to the kind of, sort of, but not really 7-slot traps from earlier in the season. I deployed the Lin team. The Lin team is not a good solution to all 7-slot traps. I mean, obviously, if there's a far save armor, give up, deploy someone else. But in cases like this, where I can hide all of my units from the enemy range, even after Sigurd is moved, it's a great pick. Since the Sigurd will expose himself and make it easier to deactivate that duo's hindrance structure. It's also good against maps where I can turn 1 initiate, but in this case I wasn't able to. The Saros was just too bulky, and I needed her gone to have a space available from which to attack the Sigurd. I had to wait till turn 3 here to make sure Eldigan's Odd Tempest was active. Actually, I think this is the first video where I am using Eldigan. I think the last time I did the last time I featured this raiding party, I was still using Duo Sigurd as my 3-move refresher. But I switched to Eldigan because he doesn't get screwed over by tactics rooms and trees, and because he can actually, the way I have him set up, he can eat a bonfire attack from Fallen Edelgard. So if need be, I can have him attack a Fallen Edelgard, take away, or consume rather, her 40% mitigations, and then Lyn can go in to finish the job. Especially if she has a pre-charged Ruptured Sky, which is usually fairly easy to ensure, since by the time she's gotten to the last few enemies, they've been chipped down by Savage Blow, so occasionally they can be one-shot, which allows her, again, to just charge up that Ruptured Sky to save for a combat where she actually needs it, like against Edelgard. It hasn't come into play in any actual matches yet. I did have a mock battle where it was pretty handy, but turns out not necessary just because Lyn hits so freaking hard, and Ruptured Sky, of course, does is extra effective against beast and dragon units. But it could be nice at some point, maybe. So it's an option, and that's actually why I chose Eldigan specifically. So yeah, a bit of just strategy there, and a bit of just discussing why I have made the team composition choices that I have. And just clean up now, so as usual, I will let this one play out, and I will see you in match number 7.
Not so loud.
I'll do it. At your command.
A new dawn. Shh, not so loud. Go for it. Tuh.
For this 7th match, I deployed the Dragon Wagon into this Hrist return trap. The important thing to remember about return and Hrist, or their interaction, I guess, is that Hrist does not deal enough damage for return to be used before combat. It is a post-combat assist with only 1 point of damage, which means that you can force the enemies to attack you. I didn't even need to have a Dune there. All I needed was to have Altina and Sothis in range of Dimitri and Bernadetta, and they would have attacked before Veronica used return. I did decide to have a Dune there just so I could confirm her location on the next enemy phase. That's why I had Regan break the phase statue. I wanted to have Regan on the next turn take out the Veronica, just moving up 2 spaces, since I knew where she was going to be, and then Kanto into the range of Plumeria so she could take out the advancing Duolin afterward. And then, of course, Dimitri and Bernadetta are no match for Sothis and Altina, respectively. Saros also gets a refresh from the Mirabilis, and then she advances since she has no assist. So she is prioritized for movement over Lyn, who also has no assist, but so Saros is melee. And then Saros also gets taken out. I forgot to factor in joint drive res on the Veronica during my combat calculations, but fortunately it didn't matter. Lyn was forced to advance, and then I just took a little bit of thinking time to confirm my approach, and then I ended up doing exactly what I said. Take out the Veronica with Regan, Kanto into range of Plumeria, take out the Lyn. I was thinking it was going to be a 2-hit KO on the Lyn, but with the field buff from Plumeria, it actually turned into 1-hit KO, so that was unfortunate. After that, I was able to start progressing towards the Aether Amphorae. Of course, from this location, Regan can actually take out the Aether Fountain just by moving.
Yes.
And I was also able to just connect my dragon armors. There is the armor march on Idun. And then I did have to take a bit more thinking time because I got stuck on how to properly grab the Aether Amphorae. But outside of that, this is just cleanup, so I'm going to let it play out.
Over here?
With utter certainty.
What is your desire?
With utter certainty.
Why not?
Consider it done.
Yes?
This is fun.
Yeah!
It will be done.
This way.
Come on, let's play outside! It's spring!
The 8th match of the season was one last duo Lin team deployment. It was another instance where I could have deployed a different team, higher scoring team rather, and I just decided not to because I was lazy. Last match of the season, pretty normal stuff here. I set up a approach with duo Lin and then a refresh from Eldigan, activate duo skill, delete the enemy's duo unit to disable the hindrance structure, and just go on a rampage from there. I set it up so that if I really had wanted to, I could have left Mirabilis alive and grabbed the Aether structures before finishing the job. And then I decided, screw it, I'm gonna finish the map because I just don't care. Yeah, that's it really. So I'll let this one play out and I'll see you for the conclusion.
Yes, what she said. Why not? Yummy. I'll keep you safe. Boo. A new dawn.
At your command.
Go for it! You're finished!
Triandra, I'm here.
What fine music.
This way? Oh, Lynn, you're a wonder! Where's Spooky? Ooh. Shh, not so loud. Go for it! You're finished!
And that is it. I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Aether Raid's Battle Dump. I hope to catch you all again in a week for the next one covering the current light season. This light season is the first one where not the new Dark Mythic Hero is available, so I may end up running into some 7-unit setups. We will have to see. Yeah, as always, I thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you next time.